Hi everyone, my name is Tim and I'm a creative coding educator, and today I want to share a new session with you. So what are sessions? A session is basically something like a very improvised tutorial where I will solve a creative task by myself. That means there's no plan, there's nothing prepared beforehand. All I have in my mind is a very simple idea, and I want you to, become a part of this. Become a part of this process. You can watch me struggling and ending up in something in the end of this video, hopefully. And this session is very much inspired by a visit in the studio of Arno Beck, who is an artist based in Bonn, living and working in Bonn. I visited him together with my good friend Cyril Kuhlmann, aka Cope Studio, and yeah, he's amazing. He studied art at Kunstakademie Düsseldorf. For those who are not from Europe or Germany, this is a very famous art university here. And he basically uses Painter to depict phenomena from the digital. That means he takes things that he takes motives from the digital sphere and transfers those artifacts into the physical space, into the physical world. And this is super interesting, I think. So kind of he makes digital phenomena experienceable for people who don't look at screens. I love that. It's pretty amazing. Let's get started. So I'm thinking about creating an application that works a little bit like Windows Paint. Maybe we can create something that enables us to draw specific areas of images onto a PGraphics surface. So what I have in mind now here is the following. Let me just open it up, Figma. Yeah, and we'll take one of these images here, for example, this one. So I will take that image now and drag it into here. I will scale it appropriately, and this will be a template. So I will create a user interface with a keyboard that changes these images. And then we will have kind of a tool, like a brush, that enables us to copy specific areas of this image and put them into that second layer here. So this is just an example, but so this is the brush we are using. So we are copying something from this area here, like a retouching tool in Photoshop, and copy it to this PGraphics object here. And also we will have the possibility to swap these images, to change them with the keyboard. So I think it won't be easy to implement a new user interface that is clickable here, but we will be able to change the images, kind of the templates, with the keyboard. And also maybe scale those images. Yes, I think that's pretty cool. And we can brush, or we can paint with parts of this image to this area. And here we will have a third PGraphics object which pixelizes this whole thing, right? So which kind of creates a visuality that is comparable to this one. Okay, let's create the basic framework. Void setup, and void draw. And we'll create a sketch that has, look at this, I can now take Figma as a template and we'll create a sketch that has the width of these three elements here. So together, these are 1156 pixels. And the height of the whole thing is 810, 810. So in the end, we will only render this one, right? So this is the yellow. The yellow is the thing that we want, right? This is just the kind of the the workshop that we are working in. In the end, we will take the yellow surface, which represents now the final result, and render it as a video. Yeah, let's start by creating three PGraphics objects. So the first challenge is to find an appropriate name for these elements. Okay, so the first one I think we could call source, because this is the element that contains the source imagery that we want to copy from. So I will call this source. Yes. The second one is this one. This is the place where we will paint the areas of the image to. I will call this target. And the third one is result. yeah, that's cool. Source, target, and result. This is easy, right? It's very, very important, and this is cool, right? We have 6 characters in each of these variable names. Pretty amazing. So it's very important to name your sketches in an appropriate way. This is super, super important, because once your applications get larger, you need a possibility to keep your overview of the whole thing. And good variable naming is an essential thing to do to clean up your code and make it much more readable for yourself and maybe also for others. And yeah, and then I know I will create 3 tabs, and the first one is called source, and I will create a function here, draw source, which will look. So we will here. This is the place where I will write the draw loop of the source PGraphics object. Source.end draw source.background. Let's take blue for now. And I just can copy paste that piece of code here and create a new tab which is called target, and just replace source with target. Then we will have a proper and very easy to use user interface for our sketching phase. And also I will create a 3rd tab which is called result. Void draw result. Result dot, oops, here's still an error. Yep. Oops. Okay. That's so weird. It just changed the order of the elements here. Okay. Result, source, target. Okay, result is here. So I have to rename the variable to result. Awesome. Look, it's pretty cool, because now I have a user interface where I can work on each PGraphics object independently. This is very helpful, because sometimes when you work with PGraphics, your code gets very long and sometimes you just lose the overview. It's very difficult to remember where specific blocks of code are located, especially in the processing editor. Okay, here in the draw loop, I will now paint background white with F1, 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 which is the white I always use because it kind of still separates a little bit from a pure white surface, which is very cool and very good when you want to expose or exhibit your work on a website, for example. And here I will run the functions that draw these PGraphics objects. Draw target, draw source, and draw result. Draw target, first source, then target, and then result. Does it compile and work? Nope, it doesn't work. Okay, why is that? Of course, I still have to initialize these PGraphics objects here in the setup function, which makes a lot of sense. So source equals to create graphics. Whoops. And I will create some variables for the dimensions of these canvases or posters, however you want to call it. Int, because this is a constant, I can write it uppercase. This is also a best practice for writing cleaner code. So constants are data types that won't, or are not data types, but data that doesn't change can be, or is it constant, right? So it will constantly stay the same. Poster underscore W equals to 586. And poster.h equals to 810. Now I can use these variables because later on maybe I want to change the dimensions of the sketch, and then it's very flexible and I can just simply change these dimensions here to adjust the visual to another medium. So this is not source, but target. And here is a third one, which is called result. Awesome. 3 PGraphics objects. And now I will put those objects next to each other with the image function in the draw loop. Image source, comma 0, 0. Then target and result. And now we should see something. Well, let's change the background colors of each surface slightly. Yes, okay. The first one should be source, target, and result. Position has to be set to width divided by 2. No, that's wrong, sorry, divided by 3. No, we can also use this variable here, which is easier, I think, poster.w, and here poster.w plus poster.w. So this will position these PGraphics objects as images in our sketch window. Let's see if that works. Saving it and running the code. Boom, here we go. Green, red, blue. Source, target, result. This is the source, this is the target, and this is the result. Okay, and again, remember, we will use the result PGraphics element, which is the only thing we want to have in the end. So the rest is just kind of a user interface that we use to draw. Now we need an array of images, some material that we can use as, as paint. I want to take the copy function to paint something to the result PGraphics object. Pimage array, and I will call this images. And here I create a new images array. A new pimage array. And by the way, if you don't know what I'm doing here, and if you are not already in my Patreon community, this is a great moment to check out my curriculum, because everything I do here, I'm explaining it in my courses. I've got, quite a few courses on my website explaining how creative coding works, especially with processing. There will be more topics in the future. Yeah, check it out. So images is a new image array, and I will define the size of the image array with 4. And here I will say images 0, because if you want to put something into an array, it is always 0 base. That means you start at 0 and then you count up. So the first image in my pimage array should be load image. And now I will look for some imagery in my folder. In my image folder, in my image library, I have images that I use for my work as well. And it's pretty cool. And I already saw that this one would be very nice to use, 2.jpg. I would just drag it onto my processing editor here. We have a few images now in the data folder. Let's go to sketch and show sketch folder. Here we are, this is the sketch folder, and if I go to the data folder, I will see that I have 3 images in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Great. Now, I will rename these images here to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Later on, we can take some other images as well and see. This will end up in a huge variety of possibilities, I think. So this is the sketch again. And I will create 4 images and put them into the array, right? The size of the array is 4, and these are the 4 images I want to put in there. So load image 1.jpg, and I will copy that to all the other positions and replace the numbers here quickly. And then I have 3 images in my memory of in the RAM of my application that I can access now. Awesome. So now I will go to the source PGraphics object, and I will display one of these images in there to see if that works. Image, I want to use images 0, comma 0, comma 0, and this will display that image in the left part of the image. Awesome, amazing. So here we have a beautiful view on Athens placed in our source image PGraphics object. Cool. Now, I don't know if you have ever worked with processing, and maybe even you have worked with processing, maybe you haven't heard of the copy function. The copy function is a very cool thing, right? The copy function is a tool in processing which enables you to copy a specific area of an image to another one. It's kind of a retouching brush in Photoshop, right? And this is the function that I will use to copy a specific piece of the source material to the target PGraphics object, which is now in the middle. It's the red one. This is the place where I will put little pieces of this landscape here. First of all, because I want to use the target PGraphics object as something like a canvas, I don't want to erase the contents of the of that PGraphics object every single frame. I want to put a color, kind of a groundation to it, but then I want to keep it as it is, right? So I don't want to erase the contents of that canvas, but yeah, and that's why I'm using if frame count equals to 1, so only the first frame, draw that, paint that whole thing white instead of red, because I want to have a white background. Or let's say this should be a real white, otherwise this could lead to some weird problems. Yeah, that's cool. And I will demonstrate now what is happening here. So if I create an ellipse that is black, or that is blue, for example, I will control it with the mouse position. Let's say it has a size of 30 times 30 pixels, and I now will comment out this line to see what happens without this conditional statement. You will see, oh, okay, of course I have to do that on the target PGraphics object, otherwise it will be done in an invisible place. As you can see, it's now eradicating the background every time. That means we have just have this ellipse that moves on the screen here. But if I put that in there again, it will only eradicate and blank out the background in the very first frame. That means it will end up in something like this. So this is more like a canvas that we can draw onto, right? That's exactly what I want. And also what I would like to have is I would like to check if the mouse is present, and only then display something onto the canvas, onto the target PGraphics object. If mouse pressed, now we'll see that. Nice. Now I can draw something onto the surface when mouse is pressed. Awesome. So instead of putting an ellipse onto the sketch window, I would like to take a specific area of the source and copy it to the target. And to do that, we can use the amazing and incredible and unique copy function, which is something, it's really, really cool. But before we copy from the source to the target, we need to convert the PGraphics object source to a image object, because otherwise it leads to some weird bugs on some operating systems. I've experienced this a few times. So PGraphics is basically let's say an image object with superpowers. And in this case, we only need the image information. That means we can create a image object here. I always call this variable buffer equals to source.get parentheses, and it just copies the whole contents of the source PGraphics object into this image object here. So that means now everything will be stored in this buffer variable. And I think because this is now running every single frame, this will be very slow. That's why it makes sense to create an image object here and load the contents. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I will create a variable outside of that function here in my sketch, because then I don't have to create the variable every time the code runs. I don't know if that will help us in terms of performance, because doing something like that takes a lot of performance and makes the whole sketch very slow. But okay, let's try and see how it works, how that goes. Buffer equals to source.get parentheses. And here, now I will create the copy function to copy from the buffer image object. Okay. Okay, I will go to my course. This is how I very, very often work when I create something by myself. I go to my courses and I go to my copy and paste course here. Yes, I will take this piece of code, or just this piece of code here, and drag it in here. Yes, pretty cool. And here I have to replace the variable name to source. And no worries, I will explain you what's going on here in a second. So the copy function, I feel like, I don't know if I can really explain it in detail now, but to make it very quick and very simple, the copy function is something like a tool that you can use as a retouching brush in Photoshop. So you take a specific piece of a template, of a image, and you can copy that piece to another place in your, I don't know, in your composition. This is how the copy function works. It takes a little rectangle or a rectangular piece of your image and copies it to another surface if you want. And these are the arguments that we need to use the copy function. So where is the source? Where is the destination? And where is the source? How large is the source? And where's the destination? And how large should the destination be? Here, I will say the source X is mouse X and the source Y is mouse Y. And I also will create I will have to put target dot in front here. I will create a rectangle. Okay, well, there's something I have to... Oh yeah, okay, I will exclude this from the conditional statement. And here I will create a rectangle which marks the area where we copy from or where we copy to. So mouse X, mouse Y, comma, and then SX, comma, SY. This is super complicated already. And I will take that. I don't know if that works. No, it won't work, because this function is executed outside. This has to do with variable scope. Okay, I think I will have to create these variables somewhere else to respect the variable scope. I will create these variables here. Int sx, comma, sy, comma, sw, comma, s. So width and height. And then we can copy all that stuff here. I could do that. And replace s with d, and then I have all the variables in place. So, does the code compile? Yes, it compiles. Awesome. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. Nice. Great. So that means I can take that rectangle here and display it at the end of the draw loop. I will set the fill color, or I will deactivate the fill. No fill. And I will say the stroke should be green. That's the color I always use when I create user interface elements. And the stroke weight should be 5. Stroke weight. And just wait for it, just a few more moments and we will see something on the screen. It's just a lot of foundational work here, but in a moment we will see what's going on here. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, of course. SW and SH. Yeah, nice. Okay. Got an error here, but this already works, which is awesome. Here I will go back to the target and I will say, well, the width should first, let's start with maybe 30. don't know, 30 instead of 300. And the source y should also be, or the destination should also be mouse x times mouse y. I will replace it with 30. And now here, we'll tell it to copy from the source to the destination. I don't know if that will work. Let's see. Nope. Yes, of course. I want to copy from the buffer and not from the source, because I cannot copy from a PGraphics object as far as I remember. Whoa, look at this. Nice. Oh my goodness, I love this moment. This is so cool. Awesome. Now we can draw and paint with an image onto that surface. Amazing. We've got a drawing tool. We've got a painting tool here. Great. We need a second rectangle, which we translate a little bit to the right. Mouse X plus poster underscore W, because we need a representation on the other screen as well. As you can see, now we have a different or another square, which helps us to see where we exactly will put that area. This is so nice. I love that. These moments are amazing. Cool. Okay, that's already pretty good. Now I would like to create UI functions. We'll call this user interface, and I will create a function called void key released. So this enables me to address specific keys from my keyboard. So here we'll create a function that says if key is equal to 1, then use image 1. I need to have a variable, which is an image variable that stores the current image, which is displayed on the source. So we create a variable which is called pimage current image. And I'm using camel case here, as you can see, which is a way of writing variable names. And I don't need to define it. All I have to do is, yes, exactly. Yes, I can, okay, I can define it. I will say something like current image equals to images parenthesis, square brackets 0 in the setup. I will use that variable to display the image on the source PGraphics object. Yes, cool, nice. As you can see, it's the same, right? But now I can write a new user interface which says cure image equals to images 0. And I can expand this conditional statement, and I can say if the key is 2, for example, right? If I press the key 2, 1, 3, and 4, I will address the position 1, 2, and 3 in the array. It is pretty awesome because now I can go through the images. Nope, I have a typo in here. Now I can go through the images. Oh, wow, nice, look. And now I can overwrite, overpaint. Nice, I can overpaint the the target, right? This is awesome. Cool. Yeah, I have a pretty cool painting machine now here. Okay. How shall I proceed? Shall I start with the result PGraphics object to also display the pixelized version on the right side? I think that would be nice. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I will create a variable here, float tiles x, and this is a constant. That's why I'm going to write it uppercase. Should be equal to, let's say, 100. nah, let's say 70 or something, I don't know. And here I will create a variable called tiles y, which is, well, maybe let's say 50, I don't know, maybe that works. And now in the results tab, I will go to that function here. I will calculate the width of each pixel. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, right? I'm just, Arno Beck, where are you? Here he is. I'm just rasterizing that image as we saw it here in one of his amazing paintings. And this will also give the whole visual a little bit more abstraction. So result, float tile w equals to result dot, come on, result dot width divided by tiles underscore x float tile h equals to result dot height divided by tiles y, and then I will create a for loop. For int x equals to 0, x is smaller than tiles x plus plus parentheses, and I will create a nested for loop with y. So here I will change the variable names to y. Yes, cool. And I have to put that in here into the draw loop of the results PGraphics object. And I have to set the colors now. So the foreground color, result.fill, should be black. The background of the result should be white. And I will use first of all, I will deactivate the stroke, no stroke. And I will use this white because F1, 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 which separates a little bit better from bright white backgrounds, which is very handy sometimes. Okay. And here I will now put a grid of rectangles by saying, of course, yes, I have to create another buffer, pimage buffer equals to target.get parentheses, and this will store the whole image target into the buffer variable, into the pimage object called buffer. And here I will say color C equals to okay, before I have to set the pixels or the exact position where I want to take these pixels or the colors from the image. So I will say int px equals to int. This is a function that converts a float to an integer. X times tile w and int py equals to int y times tile h parentheses, and I will create another variable called color C equals to buffer. We're getting closer. Buffer.get px, py. Now I have to create a matrix result.push parentheses and result.pop parentheses, and I will create a translate function which puts the elements to the right position. Translate x times tile w, y times tile h, and now I can paint the rectangle. Result rect. Wow, it's super exhausting to code and talk at the same time. It's always the same. I'm standing strong. It's totally all right. And the Yeah, and now I have to define the size. So the size is based on the brightness of these pixels. So float B equals to brightness, parentheses C, and float S is equals to map B, 0, 255, 1, 0. And now the size of the rectangle is tile W times S, tile H times S. Yes, okay. Let's run the code and see if it works. Doesn't work? Why? Why is that not working? Bad identifier. Oh, this is not a semicolon. Okay. Nice. Look at this. This works pretty well. Now I can see it both. I can look at both results and observe how the end result looks like. Amazing. I love that. It's pretty awesome. I think we could put some more tiles on there, maybe 150 and I don't know, 90. Let's see. Yeah, this is a little bit more detailed. Maybe a little bit too detailed, because what I see on, what I see on Arno's images is Arno doesn't work with varying pixel sizes. He has only one pixel size, and these pixels can either be black or white. That means we have to work with a threshold when deciding for the fill. Oops, I closed that image, that window. No worries, it's fine. But we have to work with a threshold instead of scaling these rectangles based on the brightness. Okay, no problem. So first of all, I will delete that thing here, which makes sure that all the rectangles have the same size. And now I will, and we also don't need that variable anymore. Now we can do something like this. If B is larger than 100, parentheses, result.fill 0, and else result.fill F1, F1, F1. Okay. Yes, that's what I've been thinking about. Yeah, that's pretty nice. As you can see, there's kind of a weird moire pattern. Oops. A weird interpolation or a weird pattern that just happens here. Well, the reason for that is that the pixels don't have a integer, or don't have a how to say that, are no integers. So the size of the pixels are no integers but floats. This ends up in that kind of patterns and effects, but we can change that by getting a little bit more tolerant about the size of the poster. I will set it to 580 instead of 584. And I will also change the size of the whole sketch to 1740. And now I will change the amount of tiles based on the poster width and height. And maybe first of all, we can just start by using exactly the same resolution. Maybe how will that look like? I'm not sure. Okay, the sketch is going very slow and the image is going very detailed, as you can see, right? It's very, very, very detailed now. Okay, that's too much, simply. I will divide this by 4. Oh, I still have this weird effect. Damn it. Maybe that's because the float is not dividable by 4. Maybe by 5? I don't know. I'm not really good in math, to be honest. Yeah, this works. As you can see, this works. And it also has a much better performance. So we have a pretty good, yeah, this works very well. Awesome. Cool. Here, I would like to invert this because otherwise it gets, I think this is the wrong, yeah. Now, you know, I just invert the color a little bit because that's how Arno does it. Okay, pretty awesome. Yeah, nice. Wow, this is pretty cool. Great. Okay, cool. So I have some things in mind I would like to test. First of all, I think it would be great to have the possibility to scale the image that is displayed on the source. Maybe randomize the position would also be very interesting. What about creating a function bound to a key, which is R, which recalculates the dimensions of the image on the source PGraphics object? I will create a variable called scalar. It's a floating point value. Scalar equals to 1. And this scalar will be randomized between a value between, I don't know, 1 and 5 or something. Yeah. Scalar equals to random 1,5. And I will, yes, exactly. Okay. And here I will transform the image based on the scalar. So first I will wrap this into a matrix because otherwise it's very weird to position that image here. Source.push, source.pop, parentheses, and source.scale, scalar, and source.translate, source.translate. Let's put it to the, shall we put it to the center? I don't know. Yeah, maybe for the beginning we should. Source.width divided by 2, comma source.height divided by 2. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. We also have to set to image mode to center. Source.image mode center. Nice. Okay, perfect. That's cool. And we can hit R. Oh, nice. Cool. Look at this. I mean, I can use R to scale the image anyhow I want. This will give us little different perspectives. What I would like to do now, I would like to take or create a function that enables us to record a video from what we've been doing here. Okay, let's do that. Dropbox. Does it work? The video export library? Well, I think I won't use the video export library. Instead, I will use the save frame function, which is easier for you. Let's create a quick function here, which we call rec. Void rec. We'll give it a parameter, which is the amount of frames that it should record. And yeah, if frame count is smaller than frames, then save frame. And put it into the folder out slash, and then we'll use these hashtags here for the counting of the for the names. This will be replaced with numbers.png. And I don't want to save a frame of the whole sketch, but instead I want to save a frame only from the right PGraphics object. And also what would be pretty amazing I will do a little trick here. So what would be pretty amazing, you know, when I go, let me just go to my Instagram and I will show you a little something I'm doing here. Okay, here's my Instagram channel, and when I create these posters, I always create a black frame around them when I share them on social media. And I will do that here as well with a little trick. I will create an off-screen buffer where the PGraphics object will be put onto a on an artboard that is black, and it will render that one even though we don't see it in the sketch window. This is pretty much fun, I think. Yeah, so I will create another PGraphics object, PGraphics, and I will call this artboard. Create a new tab, artboard, void artboard, parentheses, and here's the function. We say artboard dot begin draw, artboard dot end draw, artboard dot background 0, and I also will set the image mode to center, artboard.image mode center, and I will say artboard.image parentheses result, comma with comma artboard.width divided by 2 and artboard.height divided by 2. I still have to create that or initialize this object here. Create graphics poster W. Nope, this should be 900 times 900 pixels. Yep, cool. And now, look, I will create a, where is it? Okay. The function should be called draw artboard. I will draw that artboard to the main sketch, or I will execute that function here, artboard, and here in the end I will create a rec function, but before these rectangles get displayed. I know the rectangles don't make any difference, okay? That's fine, okay. Let's rename rec to render, because I have another function called rec, and this could be misleading for myself. Okay, I will call this function render, and here also let's call it render, and I have to set the amount of frames here. Maybe I don't want to set a specific amount of frames. Maybe I just want to draw as long as I want, and I don't want it to stop. Okay, I will comment these functions out, or this conditional statement out here. I will also delete this piece of code here. Okay, nice. Whew, okay. Running it, and okay, here is the problem. Okay, let's just delete that. Oh my goodness. It's why is there no where's my result? Oh, of course. Ah, well. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. What's wrong here? Okay, now it works. I don't know why, but when I just change the position of the artboard, it works. Oh, nice. Look at these effects. It's pretty cool. Now I can take the Movie Maker tool and I can open the, oh my goodness, you know, the Linux UI for processing is so crappy sometimes. So let me just go to Painting Machine 1, out, open that folder, and now I will create an MP4 file with 30 frames, create a movie and put it to my desktop. I will create it AAAAA. Yes. Okay. Take some time because I've got 681 images that it puts together now. That means we have about quite a few seconds. But look. Nothing is happening here. Oh man, this is confusing. Why is that? Let's try something. Instead of putting the result directly to the iBoard, I will create a image object, which is called buffer again, and I will say result.get, and I will put that into the image function. Okay, it works on my side here. I can see that. Okay. Go to painting machine. Yes, now it works. Now I can see that it just draws something, but it's very slow, right? So I think it would be cool to have a more kind of an accelerated process. And what also would be very helpful here is if we would have, first of all, more images, and also a possibility to get a random position of the image on the source material here. And I will create two variables here, float offset y, offset x equals to 0, and offset y equals to, 0 as well. And when I hit the R key here, I will also randomize the offsets. Offset x equals to random, and then minus width. I don't know, let's get crazy here. Minus 800, 800, and the same will be valid for offset y. This will lead to more variance in the drawing or in the surface. Look, now it also, no, it doesn't do that yet. Yeah, plus offset x plus offset y. So when I hit R now, it will go to a random spot in this image with a random scaling. Look. Oh wow, okay. And I will create a black background color. This could also lead to some interesting edges. So I will fill the source with black. Yes, and now as you can, here it is. Look, that's pretty nice. So we have the possibility to create some black surfaces here. That's cool. Nice. Okay. And yeah, okay, nice. Cool. What about taking some more concrete imagery that depicts something specific? and I go back to my, let's go to the Dropbox. I'm on my other screen here at the moment. TRCC, material, image library. Let's go through these images and see, maybe we can put something in there that is, yeah, this one, for example, would be very interesting because it has very sharp edges. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know, I just shifted my whole Dropbox into my hard drive. This ends up in some terrible loading time sometimes. Well, this one, or even this one could be interesting, 22. This one also, 26. Yes, 29. Wow, now it's getting interesting here. Okay, now I have a few more images in here. And I will rename these files. Whoa, it takes a lot of time to load. Why is that happening? Data. Okay. Rename it to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And now I will put, I will update the UI, and I've got a little quick idea. Let's simplify the whole code here. Yeah. Oh, I can't do that. No, sorry. So I have to make this the ugly way. 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 7, 9, 8. Do I have 8 images, or? I think I have 8 images. Yeah, okay, that means this one is too much. Okay, so let's see if that works. Hit R, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, of course, I have to still, of course, I have to load these images as well. So I'll have to put them into the array. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Okay, I'm going through these images here. Great. Nice. Now I can draw specific parts of these images. That's pretty cool. I think it would be nice to have the possibility to scale the part of the image with the mouse wheel. Because at the moment it is fixed to 30 pixels. I think this is a little bit too less maybe. And I have to check the reference to see how that works. Okay, a pop-up. Okay, is that new? Okay, nice, here we go. Okay, here it is, nice. Okay, I have well, it's super easy. I will go to my UI function here. I will put that function down here. Let's see what happens when I use the mouse wheel now. It prints E. Oh, okay, that's how it works. Okay, the mouse wheel function here does nothing else than adding 1 or -1 to a variable. That's smart. That's super smart. Okay, I will say float. Let's say, how is that called? Ausschnitt. Ausschnitt in English. What is that? Go to Google. I use deep L to translate it on the other screen here. I guess I know this word. A cutout, yeah. So let's call this cutout width, cutout W. Yeah. And set it to 30. Use that one here, where the rectangles are. Yeah, exactly. So result, this is where the copy function is, I guess. No, It's in target. Yeah, SW is cutout W, cutout W, cutout W. Now I have to convert this to an integer because yeah, the copy function expects integer values. Yes, okay. And now I have to say, yeah, cut out W plus equal to E. This should work. Yeah. Look at this. Wow. That's amazing. Great. Awesome. Wow, this is cool. Now I think it's a little bit too slow. E times 5, maybe that's better. Yeah, this goes much better. You know, I have that kind of mouse here. Whoops. Oh, the cable is too, sorry, the cable is too short. Cannot show you my mouse, but it's very old schoolish mouse. Nice. So I can go scanning the image, taking a look at specific parts that I find interesting, for example, this line, and then I can go through other parts of the image and see, okay, what kind of parts would I like to have in my composition. Maybe I would like to have these people here. Or this tree. This man again. Or woman, I don't know. Maybe it's a woman, or it's a man, or something else, I don't know. And then I can go through other images and find specific spots that I find interesting. Oh wow, I mean, this is so cool. The problem at the moment here is that I cannot really change the threshold. Because at the moment the threshold is set to 0 to 100, and the threshold, how I pick the specific color, this is the value. I will create a variable out of that. Float threshold equals to let's say 50, and see what happens then. Take that, put it back into the come on, into that spot. I don't know if it's darker or lighter now, I'm not really sure. Let's change the threshold to 150. Yeah, this is much darker now. I think it's a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Whoops. What's here? Oh wow, this is... Okay, here we have some human parts. Like a penis of a statue. Did you see that? I'm waiting for a moment when I can see a face. Look. Yeah, this is absolutely clear that this is a face. Pretty cool. Oh wow, it's saving images all the time. Oh damn it, that's pretty weird. It doesn't have to do that, but it would be nice to have kind of a have kind of a time lapse which displays how the design process works. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, I think. We could do that by going to the render function and telling it that it shouldn't render every time, but every 10th frame instead. Let me first of all take, the crazy thing is the whole folder is now full with thousands of images, which is crazy. This is absolutely not necessary. So, wow, crazy. 1,000 files deleted. So I will say something like, if frame count is equal to is modulo 10 equals to 0, that means do something every 10th frame, then it should save a single frame. And I think we don't need 10 digits. I think 7 digits are totally fine, which are probably 6. I don't know. It doesn't matter that much. But yeah, now it just renders an image every 6th frame. Let's see if that works. Yeah, and also the performance of the sketch is much better now, much better. It's much faster. Yeah, great, cool. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it still looks super generative. If we compare this to what Arno did, it was more, how to say that? It was more, more controlled. So this looks super generative. Looks like something computer generated, and it is computer generated basically. So the computer makes lots of decisions, and we are kind of reacting to these decisions. From a philosophical perspective, this is very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, I really like this kind of dialogue with the computer. It's really nice. Well, we also could do something like only save frames when the mouse is pressed. Maybe before we should just render what we have to see how the results look like. Movie Maker, I think, yeah, it's still the same folder. That's why I just can click on Create Movie. I rename that file to EEE. I don't know why. And it just renders 139 images. Oh, this is the wrong thing. Nice. Wow. So this is the process of drawing an image. Wow, this is super cool. Wow, I love that. Nice. So this is a beautiful moment when I just see, when I can see what just came out of the whole process. This is really cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird that we have some pauses in there, and we could place the render function into the, well, only when the mouse is clicked, but hey, I mean, we can deal with that, I think, right? It's totally fine. yeah, let's keep it as it is. Cool. Let's make some variations. So we could change a little bit the speed of the, yeah, I think that's much easier now. Wow, okay, I also would like to have a random image in the beginning. So I would like to load a different image in the beginning every time. So we say something like int random images dot length with n. Yeah. Yeah, so now it just loads a different image every time. Yeah, cool. Yeah, maybe we need some more. Oh wow, this is so cool. I love that. We could need some more detailed images with more, yeah, things, more details. This one, for example, is amazing. 46. I will put that into the 9th position of the whole array. And bind it to the key 9. So this is the 8th position of the array, but I will bind it to the key number 9. And here in the UI tab, I have to take that code, expand it with number 9 here. Yes, awesome. Number 9 is missing. Oh, okay, I have to rename that image file. Yeah, okay. That should work. Yeah, it does. Great. Wow, pretty awesome. What else? What I miss at the moment is graphics. I mean, what we see here is all very photographic, but it would be great to have kind of a more, some elements that are a little bit more graphic at all, right? Something like lines, something like geometry, something that looks a little bit more deliberate and not too random. That would be pretty awesome. Haha, look, we could, hey, that's nice. We could create random compositions with a specific key and put them onto the, oh wow, that's a pretty awesome idea. Look, random comp void random composition. Oops, what's wrong here? Void random composition parentheses, and then I will create a yeah, nice, I've got an idea. So every time I hit a specific button, let's say I would use T, why not? Or C for composition. I will take T because it's next to R, and I will say execute random comp. That's it. Look, I will create a new PGraphics object, which is the random composition. I'm so unconcentrated now. It's very difficult to keep track. W, poster, H. Okay, I'm creating this object now, this PGraphics object. And this will be a random composition that is always existing. And we can randomize the composition with T, and we can put it into the source by hitting 0. That's cool. Yeah. Wow, that's an amazing idea. It's a very long one. I will call it comp instead. And this is the last thing I do because I'm going crazy. I'm totally exhausted. Random comp dot begin draw parentheses comp dot end draw parentheses comp dot background. Let's say 0 or white. I would say white, 255. And let's just put an ellipse onto the composition. Comp dot ellipse parentheses random poster W, comma poster H. And the size of this ellipse should be between random. Oh, I'm super unconcentrated, but I have a good idea. I think this will really increase the value of the whole thing. Random 300, comma. Okay, I will create a variable out of this. Float diameter equals to random 300. Okay. Diameter is the variable that I would put in here. Diameter. Okay, nice. I will set the fill color. Comp.fill to black. I think my flatman is returning. So now it's getting interesting. Now when I hit T, right, I will run random composition. No, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I go to the UI tab and I will hit T. I will run the random composition function. I think this is the name of the function. Yeah. Random composition, and then I will put that automatically into the variable called how is it called again? Damn it, super unconcentrated. Current image. Random composition current image equals to look comp.get. Oh man. This is so exhausting. Let's see. Does it work? Yes, it works. Awesome. Look, now I can take that ellipse and copy specific parts of that ellipse to the composition. That makes the whole thing much more organic. Right? Super cool. Super cool. Awesome. Okay. I've got an ellipse now, and I also want to have a line and a triangle. Comp.line parentheses random. So I need 4 variables for the 2 vectors that I have here. Okay, 0. The line is not visible because it is not displaying because of the because I don't have a stroke at the moment here. So stroke will be activated by saying stroke 0. Stroke weight should be 8, for example. And I will put that here. Hey, got it. I also could, I have some pretty cool ideas. Don't see the line yet. Why is that? Okay, because I'm not applying these functions to the comp object. T. What? This is amazing. So cool. Nice. Now I can start designing here with these geometric shapes, which is pretty awesome. And mix that stuff with now I think that I like the image in the middle much more than the on the right. Maybe that is the end result. My goodness, that's it. Hey, wow. I like that one much more. This is the end result, not this one. I mean, here we go. This is awesome. I mean, wow, this is so cool, right? We will use this drawing machine not to create a pixelated version. Maybe we can try to create a threshold, to create a kind of a color separation version, because I feel like so many thoughts at the same time. I feel like this one on the right now, it's clear. It's clear. The solution is that I will take the version in the center. This is the final result. Yes. Yes, that's it. Well, okay, cool. Something I would like to do here again is comp.stroke cap and set it to rect. Yes. Oh, of course, it's also randomizing the size of the composition. Damn it, that's bad. We need a reset key to set the scalar back to 1. So that means I will create another function here. I will say if key equals to Z or to E, then I will say scalar, and these values should be reset to 1 and to 0. And then it is all reset. That's cool. I would like to restrict the magnitude of the random composition, and I guess I am always too far away from the microphone. That's something I have to take care of next time. Yeah, I want to have a little bit spacing around the composition. So spacing equals, and I now feel like the energy is getting back. Let's say it should be, or padding. Let's get padding is a better term for this. 50. So now padding should be, so random padding, comma, poster W minus padding, padding, comma, poster H minus padding, padding, comma, poster W minus padding, padding, comma, poster W H minus padding. I feel like a robot. Padding, comma, poster W, comma, padding, and random padding, comma, poster H, comma, padding. Cool. Okay. Padding should be an integer, but it's okay, no problem. Okay, why do I have 3 arguments in here? Oh, here. I am totally exhausted. Okay, but now, hey. Yeah, great. Oh my goodness, I love that so much. It's so nice. Let's keep it as it is. So I will go through a drawing process of, let's take a few minutes. Let's say five minutes of drawing. And then we will cut together a video. We'll start a clock, timer, and 5 minutes of drawing. And then we'll see what we end up with. Let's just take a look at the results again. Hey, I mean, such a cool result. I'm super happy with that. I mean, this is a very new direction, and remember, we started with a painting by Arno Beck, right? I was recreating this image, but I was following my own intrinsic motivation, my own intrinsic creativity, and I ended up with a result that is something very different. I mean, there may be still some very similarities to his work, and I'm probably all the time have been very inspired by his work, but this is something unique, and I've created this. The spark and the idea, the initial push into the right direction was created by looking at the work by Arno, but this is something very, very individual. Wow, so cool. I'm done for today. I'm absolutely done. I need to take a break. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to learn more about creative coding, hit the subscribe button. And if you have decided to learn creative coding, you could possibly be interested in my Patreon community. So you get 2 things. First, you get access to all of my courses that I publish on my website, timrodenbröker.de, and also to the Discord channel, the Discord server. And there are many people exchanging ideas and questions and answers about creative coding and beyond. So make sure you check that out. You can also join the Discord server without being a patron. Just a few channels will not be visible for you. And I would really love to welcome you in my Patreon community. Thank you so much and have a great day.